Hello students! Welcome to grade 7 mathematics class, quarter 3, week 7. I am Ma'am Julie Salazar, your teacher for today. Today I will be discussing circles. And for our learning objectives, number 1 we have identify and describe the radius, diameter, chord, center of a circle, arc, central angle, and inscribed angle. For number 2, sketch a circle with each part correctly labeled. And for number 3, appreciate the value of circles to real-life situations. Here are the following concepts of circles that we need to discuss. First, center of a circle, radius, chord, diameter, arc, central angle, and inscribed angle. Now, what is circle? A circle is a set of all coplanar points equidistant from a fixed point called the center. So here in our illustration, point O here is the center of the circle. Okay? Next concept that we have here is the radius. A radius of a circle is a line segment from the center to end point on the circle. So here in our illustration, point O here is the center of the circle, and we have point M that lie on the boundary of the circle. Then this line segment OM is the radius of the circle. Okay? So take note that a circle has many radii, as you can draw many different lines from the center point to a circumference of the circle. Its radius is of the same length. So take note that radii here is the plural of radius. Okay? So here in our example, point M is the center of the circle, and we have point P, point O, point N are the point that lie on the circumference of the circle. So we have three radii. We have radius MN, MO, and we have radius MP. Okay? Another concept that we need to know is the chord of a circle. It is a segment whose endpoint lying on the circumference of the circle. So here we have point N and point M, the points lying on the circumference of the circle, and this line segment MN is the chord of the circle. Next concept that we have is diameter. Diameter is a chord containing the center, and it is the longest distance across the circle as it passes through the center of the circle. Take note, diameter is also a chord, and it is also the longest distance across the circle. Okay? So in our illustration, O here is the center of the circle, and point M is lying on the circumference of the circle, same with point N. And this line segment MN is the diameter of the circle. As you can see in the figure, diameter is twice the radius of the circle. Okay? So take note, a circle actually has many diameter since you can draw many different lines through the center of a circle. And its diameter, however, has of the same length. Okay? So here in our illustration, since O is the center of the circle, we have point A, point C, point E, point G, point B, point D, point F, point H are the points that lying on the boundary of the circle. And we have segment BA, we have segment BC, we have FE, and we have HG are the diameter of the circle. Okay? Next here is the arc. Arc is a portion of a circle determined by an angle and named using two capital letters for the endpoint under a curved line. So this symbol is used for arc. Okay? So here in our illustration, we have point A, point B, and point C that lying on the circumference of the circle. And we have arc AC, arc AB, and arc CB. Okay, so we can write that as arc AC, arc AB, and we have arc BC. So those are the arc or the three arcs that form in this illustration. So here we have minor arc. Minor arc, we use two capital letters, and for major arc, we usually use 3 capital letters for the endpoint under a curved line. If the arc less than 180, then that is minor arc. And if it is equal to 180 degrees, then that is semicircle. And if it is greater than 180 degrees, then that is major arc. In the illustration, the blue curve is the smaller portion of the circle, then this is minor arc. And for this red curve, this is the larger portion of the circle, then this is our major arc. And for the other circle, as we can see, this line is the diameter of the circle, and this diameter divides the circle into two equal parts, and this part is called the semicircle, and the other part of the circle is also a semicircle. Okay? Next, we need to understand just two simple angles on the circle. An angle whose vertex is at the center of the circle, then we have central angle. Next, if the angle whose vertex is on the circle, then we have inscribed angle. Okay? So when we draw two radii on the circle, what we get is the central angle. So here in our illustration, we have two radii here wherein their vertex is at the center of the circle, then that angle is called central angle. Next, we have chord AC and chord CB, wherein their vertex is on the boundary or the circumference of the circle, then this angle is inscribed angle. Okay? So, vertex at the center is the central angle, and vertex on the circumference of the circle is inscribed angle. So, let's try now on circle O, identify the following parts. For number 1, we have O, segment OP. For number 2, segment QM. For number 3, segment MN, and segment QN for number 5. So, O here is the center of the circle, and OP is the radius of the circle, and we have QM is the chord of the circle, and we have MN is the diameter of the circle, and we have segment QN is the chord of the circle. And for number 6, we have arc MP, arc MNQ, and arc NPM. Okay, so arc MP is the minor arc of the circle, then arc MNQ is the major arc of the circle, and we have arc NPM is the semicircle of the circle. Okay? Now, let's apply what we have learned. Gladys, Glapden's ambassador, gave you pizza. She asked you to slice the pizza with the following parts labeled correctly. A. Diameter OS. B. Center N. C. Radius NE. D. Chord HO. And E. Chord SH. Now, let's answer the question of Gladys. A. We have diameter OS. We have center N. We have radius NE. We have chord HO and the chord SH. Before I will end my discussion, I would like you to answer the question of Gladys. How do you find radius of a circle? Just comment your answer in the comment section. That's all for today, class. Goodbye, everyone, and God bless. Bye-bye.